Hello everyone, and welcome to my third video of the night, but the beginning of the official draft video. I decided to make this draft explanation video to better help you guys that may have not gone through our draft process before and maybe having some questions about how it all goes down. And I realized I didn't really help you for free agency that much. I helped you a little bit, but I'll help you for the draft 100% because it's something that's really, really important. So first things first, you really need to listen when I tell you stuff because there's a lot of rules that have been built up over the last 9 seasons, however many years we've been building it together. So they may be a little complicated at first. If you have any questions, please ask because I'll be able to answer a lot of them. But the ones I can't answer, someone else can answer, and maybe there'll be a problem that I need to fix. So that's the first thing. And I'm going to show you a couple of different pictures in between, so it'll be more clear of some of the things that I'm talking about as we go. So first things first, please listen. If you have any questions, let me know. All right, so let's get into the first actual point that I have. So the first and maybe most important thing is the draft board. Now, the draft board is something that you're going to have to work on your own. It's not something I'm going to help you do. But it is something that is very important. And you can be as detailed as you want, as non-detailed as you want, as you can see by the two different examples that I have here. But the main thing about this is just have something. If you don't give me a draft board of any kind, I will be forced to make the pick for you. And if you're not there and you have no draft board, you'll get the Noah special, which will be Noah making his best guess as to what you want to draft, which can bite you in the butt sometimes, because I can't read your mind. So at the very least, give me your positions that you're looking to draft. I don't want that. That is not what I'm looking for, but it's better than nothing. You can either give me a really in-depth player-by-player, or just give me a couple positions, what rounds you want to draft those positions, and I'll take best available. Hopefully everybody can make the draft. I don't know exactly when it's going to be yet as of this recording. But if you can't make it, even if you can make it, please send me the draft board just in case like your internet crashes or whatever, so we'll be set to go. So I'm sure by now we all know the story of the Bradley Davis rule, but just in case you've missed it, there will be star value limits on all of the players in this draft. The reason being is that I want the Rise League, D League, whatever it is that year to matter. So I've put star value as the limit of when a player can be drafted. It's only an upper star limit. So I'll show you some examples. For this player, I have the thing as gold right now. That whatever it is for the draft is what it'll be. And you'll get, that is the highest you can draft them. You can still draft these players lower, but it'll be I'll have it as the highest it can be, and then it'll just move down from there. Very important. If a player is listed as gold, you can draft him as silver, bronze, whatever. You don't have to do that. Just try to keep it in order of how the player performed. That's all I ask. I also have to go over our draft rules for this season with everybody. So Season 9 is going to be a bit different than some other seasons in the past, but it's still basically the same idea. So picks 1 through 9 are going to be gold. In the past we've done 1 through 5, but since we have expansion teams, I wanted to make sure that they had a chance at a gold player, and I still wanted to have the teams that were supposed to be in the top 5 have those picks that they're supposed to get. So the top 9 picks are gold. Pick 10, which is the last pick for this spot, through the end of the 3rd round, you'll be able to draft silver. So any gold players that were rated as gold after this point, you have to draft them at silver. You can't draft them higher than that. Same thing goes for round 4 and 5. If there are any silver or gold players that get into rounds 4 or 5, you can draft them as a bronze. That's the highest you can draft them as. So if you want to draft gold and silver players, make sure you have those high draft picks. For the UDFAs, if a player that was rated as a gold or silver hits the open market as a UDFA, they'll be rated as a bronze. If they are a UDFA that was rated as a bronze or a copper, because there will be a couple coppers in this draft, they will be copper in free agency. So those are the rules for the draft. I hope that makes sense. Also, if you're wondering why the end of the third is pick 57, it's because some of these picks were still being traded back when we had our original 20 teams, and some of them got traded to teams that no longer exist. So that's why that is. Another thing to keep in mind as you're building your roster is to remember the roster requirements. Obviously, you can see them right here, but just in case you can't read, 2 quarterbacks, 1 running back / fullback, so you either need to have a backup running back or a fullback. You need 4 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 5 overall offensive linemen, 2 defensive ends, 2 defensive tackles, 2 inside linebackers, most controversially, 3 outside linebackers, 3 corners, a free safety, a strong safety, and 1 either kicker or punter. You don't need both. I mean, it's going to help your team if you have both, but I'm not going to make you have both. So you need to keep this in mind. If we get to a point after the draft and we're heading towards the regular season and I say, hey, you need to make sure that you have your requirements. It's going to come a point you will be penalized if you don't have these requirements. So make sure you have them before the season or it'll be bad for you. But going along with this, you don't need to fill your entire roster, just the position requirements. That's all you need. This is the Montreal Championship roster, and as you can see, they had a couple spots out, and it didn't really hurt them too much. Another thing to remember, obviously, is to make sure you're under the cap. So as you can see, my team right here has $45 million in cap still to spend. If you ever see that your team has a negative in front of it, that means you are now over the cap, and you have to reset and figure out a way to fix that. So almost every team has $185 million to work with, so you should be okay. You can also see the values of each player, how much each player will cost you for each tier on your roster page. So it's a really easy way to, I would suggest making a copy of the roster sheet that you have now, and then budgeting it out. I know a lot of people do that. This is probably old hat for most of you, but just in case you didn't know, that's how that works. And one more important thing coming out of this draft class, since he won the Pick'em contest for prospects and people that aren't already on staff, Algie LeCue will be getting a boost to his value. So if whatever value he comes in as, whether it's a silver, bronze, whatever, it will be boosted up by 1. Since I haven't exactly ranked them yet, I have preeminently put him at the top. We'll see. Maybe he grades out as a gold anyway, but in case that isn't the case, he will be 1 higher than maybe he should be. So that's why that happened. Just wanted to throw that in there, because congratulations to him. If you want this to be your player next year, make sure you win the Pick'em contest. And that is everything that I have written down to try to help you get through this draft process. If you've missed something that you need, or you have a question about something, please let me know, so that you won't have any problems getting through the draft itself. But yeah, so the draft will be coming soon. We'll get that scheduled as soon as we get the Rise League done, and then we can figure out who's available what. I'll be putting that in the owner's chat most likely. But yeah, so that is it for me today. Make sure to watch the rest of the Rise League content. Make sure you're paying attention. All of the information, including the prospect boards, will be posted very soon, so you'll have all the information you need should you desire to use it. So yeah, thank you for watching. Good luck through your draft process and your season to come. Yeah, see you in the next video.